Oh, hell yeah, Royal Highness CP the DJ. You rockin', so welcome to the Raw Zone on DTF Radio, Platinum Radio with yours truly, Ivy, and of course, Rocky Barbona, aka Michael Bostic. Let's go. You know the vibes. We here.
You already know.
Like, comment, and share. Let's go.
If they tell you that you living forever, somebody lies. Live it up if you happy to be alive. Put anything negative to the side. If you riding by my side, then I know you know the vibes. You know the vibes. You know the vibes. You know the vibes. I know you know the vibes. Pulling up, you know it's a movie. I'm a director, but it took forever just to make it to the section. The bouncer going hard with all the checkers. Swear to everything I love, nobody better pull a weapon.
Let's go.
It's a family affair, we all here. On the walkthrough, I show you why they think I'm Ric Flair. He don't want to stare, but I know that he well aware. But his girl says she do what she want with her own care. I'm right here in case you want to clear the air. Matter of fact, tell them beat it, keep the hating over there. The thing about life, you know they say it's not fair. If you ever had beef, it was probably medium rare. Don't trust him if he don't look in your eyes. Man, let it fly if it don't apply. Let it fly. Do what you gotta do to survive. All they do is tell lies, but you know we know the vibe. You know the vibes. You know the vibes. You know the vibes. I know you know the vibes. If they tell you that you living forever, somebody lies. Live it up if you happy to be alive. Put anything negative to the side. If you riding by my side, then I know you know the vibes. Only been in the city an hour. Women say something they might devour. Shorty, I don't care about your man being sour. We can turn him to a ghost.
Let's go.
I want to control it. She just want to throw it. Exposing it for me, for you, she don't even show it. The ass got fatter as soon as she let me fold it. I go on that box, boy, and you didn't even know it. Everything about you, baby, just my type. I said, me without you, you know it's just not right. You got me feeling lucky like it's just my night. She's so classy. Just might fight. Every time she talks, she tell me she independent. She don't need my money, but still ready to spend it. Everybody I'm with, the vibe is authentic. Run the city for the fitness. You can have it when I'm finished. You know the vibes. You know the vibes. You know the vibes. I know you know the vibe. If they tell you that you living forever, somebody lies. Live it up if you happy to be alive. Put anything negative to the side. If you riding by my side, then I know you know the vibes. Yeah. You know the vibes.
Like I said, it's your boy, DJ. Welcome to the Raw Zone DTF Radio.
Gang.
Let's go.
Gang in the
You know the vibe.
everyone.
Yo, what up?
Yo,
What's good,
it's
everybody?
another edition of Welcome to the Raw Zone, everyone. We are live on DTF Radio, Platinum Radio, YouTube, Facebook, wherever there is, we're fucking there, motherfuckers. I am the one, the only, I am IVXO. We are here with my comrade, your Royal Highness, CP the DJ, and your girlfriend's favorite, Rocky Balboner, hashtag giggity.
Yo, she giggity my hashtag.
Listen, man, we got one more week of Rocky Balboner. Are you
Right,
going to
one more.
introduce your new name now, or are you going to wait?
Nope. Y'all just gonna have to find out. You're gonna have to find out. I already got it, so you're just gonna have to find out.
Would you drop a hint or a meme?
Would I do what?
Would you send us a meme or something that we could post that would allow our listeners to guess what the new name is?
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Let me find one, and I'll get back to y'all on that, and then yeah, we could play a little guessing game. How about that?
So for the next 2 weeks, we're gonna have this meme whenever we find it, and we're gonna figure out, or at least have the guesses until our first episode in July. That way, for the big unveiling, where he's no longer Rocky Balboner. But
Right.
what is your actual name, Rocky Balboner?
My actual name is Michael Bostic. What up, everybody?
Yo, so we got a dope ass show today. Like, I'm actually really excited.
Yo, I'm hyped.
I mean, I'm excited for every show, but I'm extra excited for this because it was another 2-year chasing to make it happen.
Those are always the best ones, though. The ones that you gotta work the hardest for. Those are the best ones.
It's like those relationships, like you're a player and you chase them for so long, and when you finally get that person, it makes you change your whole life up.
It's a fact.
This is that interview. So, yo, what's the weekend vibes? How was everyone's week? Happy Father's Day.
Yo, Father's Day is dope, man. Mikey gave me my car early. He gave me it on Friday. A nice little Batman car because Daddy loved Batman. And we just vibed out and just chilled the whole weekend, man. It was real relaxing and chill, man. It was good. It was dope.
Yo, stepdaddy CP, how was your Father's Day?
First of all, do the stepdaddy. Nah, my shit was lit. Like my 10-year-old, literally, I got woken up to breakfast. I got woken up to father son shirts, and then I came back I went to work, but I came home to like a nice little spread. I was like, oh, I got breakfast and I got dinner. Oh, yes, lit. Situations over. I mean, don't worry. I still got your mac and cheese. As a matter of fact, I might have him because he got of me. He made it, so he been watching. So I don't know.
Oh, my boyfriend cooks. Listen, I love Omar with all my heart because he literally makes he's a child, but he's like when he loves someone, like it's adorable. It's so pure. It's so innocent.
Right.
That was the same way. Like that's why I connect with little Mikey too. I'm like, I love those two kids. But
she's trying to start a war between our kids, Mike. You see that, right?
Nah. Because Mikey is like my little son, and then me and him play video games, right? But me and Omar, like that's my little love, and he'll ask me like different questions about anything.
Right.
And we'll sit down and talk shit.
Okay.
So
I respect it.
It's like that parent thing where you're supposed to say you don't have favorites. So I don't have a favorite in this one.
All right. Nice save. You like your co-host. You like your job. I got you. Obviously,
I mean, listen, if we're going to be real, I'm obviously put my nieces over everyone. They're fucking adorable.
That's a fact.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But before we start talking about our kids and everything, we're going to go into a video. I'm very excited because I was going through the archives, right?
Archives.
So, and because me and Ray are always, out to it, and we're always talking shit, listening to music, vibing. So we found this little gem of our guest, Chris Rivers, which will tie us into the interview. So we're going to start it with the throwback, right? So mute up. I'm going to put the screen up. And then once we do that, we're going to introduce Chris Rivers.
Okie doke.
Copy.
Bronx, New York. I still remember driving up from Boston with my father, going to see Grandpa every summer. On the streets of the Bronx. Still remember the rivalry between the Red Sox and the Yankees. Still goes on today. Yeah, the Bronx. I got real ties to the Bronx because that's where my father's whole family's from. Still got guys out there like Sonny and his gang. Oh, those guys over there? Yeah, that's my son Ray Ray. Those his two little dogs, Baby Pun, Lil James. And this is their story. Ray Ray, Baby Pun, Call baby done. Many people come and many people go, but when I come around, they say take it slow. I never wanna see you down. Your life is a merry-go-round. I ain't seen you lately. Why you ain't doing me? Baby, slow down, I wanna have fun with you. I never promised you. You will be, you will do. Baby, slow down, I wanna have fun with you. I never promised you. Shorty, put your games away. I'm only 8 June grade numbers in my two-way. A young fly fella, so what from high yellow? I can show you how I hustle outside of the town. All you gotta do is call. We can breeze through the ball. My dad pick us up, but we need a cab for. We can shot till we fall. Later we have fun. Catch a foot, get your movie fix. What is your movie fix? Many people will, and many people won't. Reminisce on love, 'cause their hearts are broke. I know you wanna be with me, take you to Disney World. And if you keep it real, you'll always be mine. Every time I'm going to school, I'll be a close friend. Every shady bitch on the weekend, watch Nickelodeon. Give me game on your match. Give me a fair chance. Be together in the back of your softball, square pants. One mama call you in the morning, free to school, no less. My allowance for a green and sweat. You intelligent, pretty girl. When I go pretty girl, summertime I got these keys, so make it top and Disney World. Baby,
So you telling you ever see a child at that age still got bars like that?
Listen. That video was truly epic, man. I was over here jamming.
Yo, I keep it a buck with you. That's where I got put onto him at. I remember when that premiered on 106 in Park.
Straight facts.
I remember the time when I was watching it when it came on 106 in Park, and I was literally heavily impressed by all three of them.
So without further ado, the man, the myth, the motherfucking legend himself, Chris Rivers.
Hey.
Yo, Chris.
What an intro.
Right.
I love it. I love it. The man, the myth, come on, man. Come on. How y'all doing?
The legendary. Let's go.
As his shirt says, the greatest in the motherfucking universe himself. Chris Rivers is in the building.
The motherfucking is in between the lines. Yeah.
Facts.
How y'all doing, man?
Man, we're good. We're good. Thank you so much for blessing us with your presence. It took a while, but we locked in. We're good. I think this quarantine helped the media more than anything, honestly.
Yeah. As long as people have been proactive with giving quality content with people, then everyone's ready and willing to take it. So as long as we're creative and courageous with our content, we winning. We winning, man.
See, that's what I'm talking about right there. Like that's that positive energy you need for this quarantine. I keep telling people, yo, take advantage of this damn quarantine,
That's a
especially
fact.
musicians, DJs, all
Hmm.
that. Take advantage because this is the only time you're gonna have where you can't do nothing.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's a fact. Like the audience is ready and willing. It definitely takes a lot because you got to stare yourself in the face creatively and just artistically and as a person. Like everything's out in the open. But as long as you are, put the time in and get creative with it, then you're bound to come up with something glorious. And now's the time, man. So yeah, you just gotta run with it. Got to run with it. Fuck being negative all
I
day.
mean, you definitely took advantage of the time because Self-Inflicted Bubble Boy came out last week.
Yeah, nah, definitely. I could be doing a lot more, but I definitely I've been setting stuff up and just recalibrating and just but I definitely came out with the project. It's the least I could do in these troubling times, and yeah, it's been cool,
So tell me, other than making the greatest fort ever in your room, right?
man.
What have you been doing to keep yourself busy in the quarantine?
I just been adopting and developing new skills, like besides like self, reflecting and making music and stuff like that. I've also been, looking into what I want to do after this. A lot of things kind of lost their purpose, or at least perceived purpose. Like during this time, we start realizing, like, yo, like what's actually important, or even people that had 9 to 5s that got laid off or been doing certain things or just doing shit all day, and they realize, like, yo, like I haven't been pursuing my dreams at all, like during this time. So it's one of those things where I just realized, I'm like, yo, let me get real proactive. So I started learning how to engineer better, started learning how to shoot videos better. I'm learning coding so I could start building apps and development in that way. And yeah, I started learning even magic tricks. I'm learning magic tricks from Penn and Teller. I got like master classes. I'm
Yay.
learning
Nice.
took the Timberland master class as well for production. Yeah, and like even just art of negotiation, working on an anime, like just starting to get back into
What?
working on an anime. And then on top of that, I started learning how
Speaking
to
my language.
You
yeah,
spoke
yeah,
that
a bit.
language. Continue.
Oh no, bro, I'm anime all day. Like I'm surrounded by anime materials. You just can't see it. Like that's what I really love. But yeah, I'm working on that, and I also started. Again, I used to love playing video games growing up, but I never really had the time. Recently, so I made sure I got my shit back up and running. I started playing games again, just to get. So I might start switching and stuff. So just really trying to discover and figure out. Wow, really trying to discover and figure out, like, yo, like what do I love, what do I want to do, and what do I want to come out of this with. So I've been just growing myself and figuring myself out and all that goodness.
That's dope.
So you got favorite magic trick since you said you were doing that, or a favorite anime?
Say again.
Tell us one of your favorite tricks that you learned, and
Yeah.
tell us your favorite anime.
Oh, definitely. I learned let me see. There was this, like, I don't have the materials here, but yeah, like different sleight of hand tricks. I like card tricks, so like I learned a couple different card tricks. And then my favorite anime, I would say outstanding. Favorite anime for the longest has been One Piece. I don't know if y'all watch One Piece. I think One
One Piece.
Piece.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I think.
can't finish that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, One Piece is amazing. It starts off as just like pirates with superpowers, and it just becomes something so much more with grand conspiracies and like the world got like it's just deep. Like and you get to see it from the perspective of these characters, so it's dope. I like to binge watch, so I stepped away from it. I'm like a few months behind because I caught up and I was doing week to week, and it's too much. So I watch stuff
Right.
like that. I read a lot of manga too, and yeah, I just be yeah. But I've watched a lot, like I watch tons of shit, not just the mainstream stuff. Like
Right. Right.
like yeah, I'll be
That's
on
how I
it.
am too.
Yeah. I'll be looking up lists. Like what should I? Yeah, like I like isekai stuff.
Right.
Like
What's the next
reborn.
thing I should watch?
The next thing you should watch. I mean, depends on what you watched already. I always say like certain classics are like you have to watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. It depends. That's a given. Death Note is a given. You got to watch Death Note.
Death Note, that's my favorite. So
yeah,
I've already completed that.
I put my girl.
Times over.
Facts. I put my girl onto Death Note. I'm trying to get her into anime, so I put her onto that. She loved it. Yeah, that was a really good one. I want to get into. There's this one called. It's some shit. Some galaxy shit. I forgot. Right now, I'm in the middle of completing Log Horizon, which is it's some super nerdy shit, but I don't know what y'all into. But it's it's like they get transported into a video game world and all this stupid. It's kind of like Sword Art Online.
Really?
Yeah, but different, more strategic and more. Yeah, it's cool. It's called Log Horizon. They got 2 seasons for that. I'm reading a manga right now called Chainsaw Man, which is kind of dark and gory, but y'all should definitely, if you got some time, read that. It's pretty funny, interesting protagonist. I just be nerding out, man. On some real shit. I'll definitely send you a list because I've watched a lot. I got Crunchyroll.
You gotta enjoy it.
Yeah,
I got that Crunchyroll. So
I got Crunchyroll.
Right.
So I went back into anime because I drifted off after a while. So I started watching the whole Sailor Moon thing all over again. Even though I still find it stupid retarded that they killed him off the last.
Which one? What show?
Sailor Moon. When they killed Tuxedo Mask and Sailor Moon Superstar.
Oh, Sailor Moon. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah. I find that completely retarded. Why would you do that? And then, they're trying to make the whole I understand they were trying to bring up, I guess, transgenderism.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I know there's no word is transgenderism, but they're trying to bring up the transgender community at the time, and I guess they were trying to figure out a way to do it.
Sailor Moon's very progressive.
Very, very progressive.
Very progressive. Oh, Hunter x Hunter. Please watch Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, that's another one. Very good show.
Please.
But I finally got the special edition manga though.
Oh, look at that. What? Get out of here.
Right now I'm watching Rurouni Kenshin.
Oh, classic.
That's my shit. I just started that over.
Please. Cowboy Bebop. Classic.
If you
Samurai
haven't
Champloo.
watched some real nerd shit, Kenichi the Mightiest Disciples, a good one.
You on it.
Listen, bro. Listen, when I tell you I do this anime, I do this, bro.
Baki, the first season was fine.
Oh my
god. The second season though, I feel like they lost all their budget.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was you could tell when a certain shows but if you watch Black Clover, there's a show called
Black Clover.
They put all their budget into the fights. If you watch the show, it looks terrible the whole time, but as soon as a fight team pop off, it's fucking crazy. I'm like, wow, they put 99% of budget into fights, 1% into the just regular scenes. But I don't mind.
I feel like they did that in Dragon Ball Super. I feel like everything is so much into the fights, and then everything else is just trash.
That's what we care about, I guess. If it's for those, it's action,
right?
Shown in that. He's over here thanks.
He's I'm not really into anime as heavy as you seasoned veterans.
I can tell.
I ain't gonna hold you. But I do be watching the Dragon Ball Z saga from the beginning to all the way to now.
Dragon Ball Z is the anime that transcends groups. It's like that friend that's cool with the hood.
Right. It's always a good place to start.
Dragon Ball Z, I
be watching that, and I used to watch the Avatar and all that. So
Avatar's fire. It's actually not it's the best American cartoon in my opinion.
Right. Not really an anime.
Because that's 10 out of 10 though. Avatar, they killed that. I'm like, wow.
It's crazy because I've never watched it. I've never watched the Avatar.
You gotta watch out. Yo, bro.
I've never watched it.
Amazing show, bro. Watch it, please.
And I watch that, but don't watch the movie.
No.
No. I won't.
None of the live action movies do justice.
Do not watch that movie.
Yeah, all those are classics.
Right.
Those are classic anime. Yeah, good talk.
Right, for real. Right.
Amazing.
That was dope.
But, let's get back to you, of course, right?
Nah, this is good. I prefer this.
We've been talking about you, so we played the video, and when you were baby Pun, obviously, and it kind of ties into something you said to Ray on Quarantine and Rap that one of your major influences was Eminem.
Yeah.
So when we were looking back on the video, this morning we were talking about how there was supposed to be a project for your group, but because of the beef with Eminem, do you feel like that? I'm sorry, I had it written more professional, but I was like,
basically at the time, we had a deal with, I believe, Interscope or some shit. It was like 1.2 on the table, some shit like that. I was young. And basically, since we were minors during that time in the contract, there was a clause, and because Benzino and he was affiliating the whole thing at that time, he was beefing with Eminem for a bit, and because of the whole all the discrepancies and stuff going on, because we were minors, there was a clause in it that we had to get pulled out or whatever was going on because of the overlaying some bullshit. I don't know. I was 8 years old. Word, cool, whatever. So it is what it is. I'm just happy I didn't grow up rich because I definitely wouldn't. I don't know how I would be. I think I would still be cool and humble, but being poor gives you so much flavor in life. It gives you.
Right.
Gives you this ability of overcoming, you know what I mean? And I don't mean bukakis when I say overcoming. I mean I mean transcending limitations, So, yeah.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I'm a little crazy, so.
Oh no, it's okay.
He's me.
I get jokey when I'm teaching.
That's hilarious. That's the best joke I've ever heard in my life.
Yo, thank you, bro. I also want to get into comedy at some point. I'm just building up the repertoire.
I think you could do it. I think
absolutely.
Definitely. I know I can. I just there's people teaching comedy on the masterclass shit, so I'm gonna just take some classes. Samuel Jackson's teaching acting, it's lit, bro. I'm gonna say motherfucker like crazy, but I'm gonna learn how to act.
Oh, you mean you're gonna do it like Chris Farley, where he's like, fuck, cunt, shit, bitch, how?
I'll be the Chris Farley, man.
He was really one of the best.
He was a beast. He was a beast, and he was a good person. So I've heard. I didn't get to meet him.
That was definitely one of the people I wish to meet. If you could meet 3 of your favorite celebrities or comedians that passed away, who would it be?
Bruce Lee, most definitely. Mac Miller, and Goku. Now, I don't know. I don't be. Let me see who died that I would like. I was like, damn, I want to meet. I would not have mind meeting Robin Williams. I really fucked with Robin Williams.
Yeah, for me it was Robin Williams, Chris Farley, and Prince.
Wow, yeah, that's a good one. I would like to, because I'm really into martial arts, so I would love to meet Bruce Lee. Plus, his philosophy was just outrageous. I feel like chilling. He was into weed and hashish. So just chilling the whole day with Bruce Lee, learning kung fu, eating hashish and talking philosophy, that'd be sick. Mac Miller musically and just seeing I feel like I'll just vibe with him all day. And Robin Williams, man, he was just. Yeah, I grew up watching. There was even a gorilla that he became really cool with, that knew sign language. When they told the gorilla that Robin Williams died, he signed the word sad or cry. He even affected other creatures with his, you know what I mean? And just the fact that he suffered with mental illness despite being someone that brought so many people joy. That contrast is just crazy. I feel like he had to be such an interesting person. You know what I mean?
Just let me interrupt real quick. I'm sorry. If you're tuning in here too, don't forget you could also download that DTF Radio app, available on the Android and the Apple platforms. Do the same thing for Platinum Radio. Go to TuneIn. We'll be everywhere. Make sure you tune in to hear what Chris Rivers got to say. If not, you're a motherfucking dub and will end up on that show, the dub next. Just saying.
Yo, just a quick question, because I know what I have an understanding of what DTF means. Probably not what the show means. When I watched,
so shout out to Mark LeBron of DTF Radio. When I walked into DTF Radio before I got the job, I did ask if the station's name was Down to Fuck.
Oh, just kidding. That's what I thought.
Because I go on my, do you realize that's what the acronym is? He's like, yes. But DTF was actually a gang back in the 80s, 90s. That they called themselves that, and
down to fight.
They were, yeah.
Like Fight Club.
I like that, which is an amazing movie, by the way, for real.
You know, so they did a lot of stuff in the Brooklyn community and everything, the graffiti, and then lo and behold, I guess they ended up having their, a way to reach a community through music, which was DTF Radio.
Oh, fire! Good for them. Good for them. That's what game's supposed to be. Give back to community, flip that money, clean it. Fuck being on the corner forever, man. For real.
Yeah, just like when you hear all of these stories, it's inspiring to work with them. Because Mark is really humble and down to earth. Even though they think he's like mean, he's really not. He's a sweetheart. So if I get fired afterwards, y'all know why.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. Yeah, no, well, you give it a. I like the acronym. That's good.
But Boner, do you have a question? Because I hear a lot of Home Depot going on.
It sounds real quiet in Home Depot, to be honest with you. I was just trying to figure out why it was so quiet in here.
I don't know.
But nah, so like what was it like moving from Baby Pun to people putting respect on your name as Chris Rivers? Like, what was that transition like?
Oh man, it was this is a long time. It was grueling. I had to correct people. I had to get into philosophical debates. They're like, hey, I'm like, hey man, call me Chris. They're like, nah, I want to call you Baby Pun. I'm like, all right, cool. What's your name? They're like, Jeff. I'm like, all right, cool, Craig. See you later. All right, my name's not Craig. Like, so like it's like, it's weird. It's weird. But it is what it is. Like, I don't know, like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like, when someone approaches with love, it's love. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
In the beginning, it was more of a fight. Like, oh, let me establish my own identity, blah blah. Then you realize along the way that you're trying to be yourself, and like, you can't try to be yourself. Like, you just are yourself. Right. You got to learn how to just be, and and accept things. And there was this famous quote, forgot who said it, but it was like, no matter what happens, I'm okay with it. Like it's fine. Like, and I realized, like, like, I gotta stop putting so much weight on things, and you can't do it for love. You got to do it from love. So it's like, like, I had to get rid of a lot of expectations, and I had to, stop feeling like I had to fight for mine. Like, what's mine is mine. What will be mine as long as I keep going for it. So, it took a while, but now most people refer to me as Chris Rivers. I've established myself on that. It's kind of like the catalyst or the North Star that I use to, like, show myself how far I've progressed in my career. Like, depending on how many people call me Chris Rivers, how many pun-related questions I ask. Like, gradually over the years, like, I've done interviews where it was like, you just wanted to interview my dad. Like, like, you didn't ask me shit. You don't even know who I am. I think, like, right. So like, and then I've done ones where it's like, it's all actually focused on me. So I kind of use it as my, my compass to realize, like, yo, I must have really progressed because, today they actually, saw me as a person and not somebody's son. So that rocks, So, it's been a journey, but for the past few, it's been mostly, Chris Rivers and my own accomplishments, which, it is. When the shadow is of that of someone that you're proud of, it's never a bad thing, and right. I just don't think that I have anything to add to his legacy. I think that he transcended all limitations, and he fully fortified himself and immortalized himself. So the best thing I could do for his legacy is to create one of my own in order to solidify the bloodline. You know what I mean? So I'm just fighting for that and just getting to that point. But it's been cool. People call me Chris. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You kind of brought up a question I was gonna ask you later on.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking about. Oh my God! Shut up, Ray. Before I ask you my question, Ray on the live feed wants to go and ask, what is your go-to drink since he said you lit?
I drank this. It's called Bark or Tiger Balm ginseng fucking thing. I got it from a juice bar around here. It's like around the world where they mix like a bunch of natural, like it actually cleans your organs out and it's like good for you and has all this extra shit in this. Yeah, it's cool, but it's like Bark or Tiger Balm around the world. I don't know what they call it in every place, but it's pitch black and it tastes terrible, but it does a good job. So yeah.
So Ray, I hope you got your answer. Your 5 seconds of fame, bro.
But when I'm drinking publicly or like, you know, I prefer like I'm one of those dudes that like I'm comfortable enough in my masculinity that I will ask for like the super fruity, like delicious drink with the umbrella. Like I like to like, you know,
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
it takes a while for me to actually feel inebriated because I'm like a heavy dude and I got a lot of tolerance. So I want to enjoy the ride. Like I don't want to be drinking like piss water the whole time and then get drunk. Like no, like you know. And plus I don't like being drunk. Like I like feeling if I am gonna drink, I like feeling like buzz, but I don't like the way being drunk makes me feel. Like who wants to be like no offense to anybody who relies on alcohol and like, you know, it's a serious thing and, you know, I get it, but I just don't personally like to feel like I'm not in control of myself. Like it's not
Yeah.
people be mad proud. Like, yeah, I blacked out last night. Like, okay, like good shit.
Like, nah, like how you get proud? How you proud of being blacking out?
Yeah,
like, nah.
yeah, good shit ODing on alcohol to the point of passing out. Great job. Yeah.
I definitely don't like that feeling afterwards when you wake up, bro.
Never get hangovers though, because hangovers are caused by dehydration, and so you just gotta remember to drink enough water. Which is weird because a lot of people who drink just like refuse to drink water. Like I don't like be so argumentative. Like just take the water
because they're scared they're gonna throw up.
They're scared they're gonna throw up, which makes sense. But my thing is like you didn't take the water and you threw up, so,
and you still threw up, right? So
right. What they don't realize is because if you notice some people that are experienced drinkers and they know about this stuff, you know, just saying, word, we're like, you know what I'm saying? They have the drink and they have the water. So you'll see them taking a drink and they're drinking water because the water balances you out.
Balances it out, bro.
It's just like having ice in your drink.
You're gonna be running to the bathroom a lot, but it's worth it. It's worth it.
But it's worth it because you're still getting your buzz, but you're not drunk.
Right in there, yeah, Gucci the next day. I'm not, yeah. I ain't
exactly
that weird. Like, no, I don't want to feel that way. Drink water.
I don't want to feel the damn. Did I throw up last night? Damn, what the hell? nobody wants that.
Oh,
Facts. But yeah, that's what I was drinking on, bro. A little bit of that dark liquid.
Pause.
How is that possible?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, where did that come from?
Do men excrete dark liquids? Like,
I don't know.
They do. They got serious problem.
Yeah, there's an issue there that's deeper.
Serious kidney problem.
Your Caucasian is showing, Katie. Your Caucasian is showing.
Ew, stop. I'm already, bro.
I never looked into the pause culture. It's like, bro, like, you know, the fact that you took this in that way shows where your mind is. Her mind is always like that.
But this is a show where this is socially acceptable on this show.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Yeah, man, it's called DTF. I get it.
The show is called Welcome to the Raw Zone, so it's okay to be raunchy. But back to the question I was trying to ask before Ray interrupted with the drinking. When we talk about these legends and we talk about your dad and we talk about Pac and we talk about Biggie, right? Had they, in your opinion, because in my mind, I already see you as a legend for everything you've done work-wise from when you were baby pun all the way up.
Thank you.
You know, when you follow someone's career like that and you see it, you know, at 8 years old, I wasn't, you know, making bars like that. I didn't even know what a bar was. So, but now when you see these legends, right? Had they been alive, would they still had that same stature, or would they have had this, or would they been like Jay-Z in a way?
Yeah, it's difficult. Jay-Z became Jay-Z not only because he had incredible talent as an artist and versatility, which made him relevant through multiple trends and time periods in hip hop, because the sound changes, and then most people who are popping in a particular sound end up fizzling out when the sound changes because they're only relevant for that trend because they're not actually talented or versatile enough to keep switching up. That's why you got people like Drake that's able to stay relevant for a decade top of the line because he is able to ride every single trend, create trends, and is actually a good artist and rapper, so that he's able to, you know, shift and blend in between and create things. Jay-Z hit right now, and even then, like, because he was dope. And is, but he's also a fantastic businessman. And when you get a little bit older, you realize your business acumen is very important musically, especially when you're going for longevity, because you got to make the right choices. You could easily be a very talented person who got dicked out by a label deal, or you lost your relevance on the front line right now. Because there's a lot of kids right now who listen, and 16-year-olds, 15-year-olds who probably don't even know who Jay-Z is. They probably know a Jay-Z song, but they probably don't know who he is. But Jay-Z is so relevant because of what he does behind the scenes now. And I think he's made more money outside of hip hop and through his business ventures than he and influence through there than he has hip hop wise. Where hip hop was used in his case like it's supposed to be, like a stepping stone, something that he used his drug money. He's the quintessential rapper. Like, he went from selling crack to investing in himself to using music to clean the money, and then use that clean money for other further his business ventures. So he did it the right way. A lot of people, I think Tupac will be interesting for this current time, because I think Tupac's voice was even bigger outside of music. You know, I would love to hear what Tupac would be saying right now during this time. I think he would be fearless and a great leader right now. He'll be similar to I think his impact would be similar to how DMX's is, where it's like his voice is so powerful, and certain things like now where it's like, yo, like, even if the music isn't constantly being put out, he's not known on certain fronts, like, when he speaks, we listen, and that's a powerful thing. I think people like Biggie would have stayed relevant for a while. Obviously, my pop, like, it's interesting to think. Like, I think all these people were skilled enough to survive and periods, but it's been 20 years since my father passed. So I don't think, like, again, like, unless they all transitioned into becoming business people that are holding it down on an end, and I don't think they would still be on the front lines rapping today. Most people from that era aren't. Like, it's just, you know, it's a young man's game. You don't want to be out here doing, you know what I mean? Like, unless you got the Jay-Z status where you could just, you know, drop something every few years, and you know what I mean? But you got to build that. So it's definitely interesting to think about. I think I would have to go back and look at their business acumen and see, like, how would they have transcended that right now. But I definitely think they would have made a lot of noise. Like, and still be very big. Like, you know, they would have had more time to solidify themselves. Dying when you're that great makes you a legend, but you can also become a living legend if you do the right things. And I think a lot of them would have. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, FedEx.
So since we talk about living legend and you a living legend, do you think you could have out-rapped any of them, including your dad?
I think it depends on what we're rapping about. I think my technical rapping skill level is you know, it's up there with the best of them. Like, and I say that, you know, not being cocky, like, I just worked on it for a while, and I know, like, I could technically rap and combine words at a high level. But there's certain, like, things like I would definitely do better at rapping against my dad if we rapped about fucking animes. Like, I would write the sickest verse about anime, like, and that's because something I know about and I'm able to talk about, like, his style of music and what he spoke about. Though there's some intersecting lines with us when he's talking about society or certain things, but he was really, you know, he grew up a street nigga. Like, he was really a thug. Like, everything he rapped about, he was really about that life. Like, he wasn't like a fake gangster. Like, he would really hop out his car and beat you down with his chain because you looked at him wrong. Like, that's how he was. And so if we're rapping about, you know, violence and shit, like, his lines are just gonna hit more. Like, and that's why, like, yeah, like, if Drake did a record with fucking Styles P, you know, Styles P's fans are gonna think Styles P did better. Drake's fans are gonna think Drake did better because Drake's fans aren't listening for those street hardcore knocking, hitting bars, and Styles P's fans are probably not looking to, you know, find those clever little whatever it is, you know what I mean? Like, I can't even put into a box what Drake does, but you get the analogy I'm trying to make. Like, right. You know what I mean? So, like, it's different. There's certain people who I feel are better, like Lupe Fiasco, for instance. Like, his depth scares me, like, you know what I mean? And that you could say pause to, but, like, yeah, his depth, his depth, like, his analogies and his entendres, like, I've listened to his verses and broke them down. So when you hear the entire verse, it's a whole story, and each story has an entendre. So there's like 6 different stories all making sense in that same verse. Like, that's really hard to do. Or when you know, when it comes to Eminem maxed out his just like raw syllable rapping. So, like, I might get syllable to death rapping with Eminem. I can keep up, but I might have to do something different because he maxed out that stat. I might be a little better at being maybe relatable or hitting with something that you're gonna really like feel in your heart, but Eminem's gonna rap the fuck out of me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so you have to know who you're like if you're fighting someone and you know they got really good kicks, maybe you got to get inside because your handwork is better, your inside game is better, or maybe who's a better fighter? Who knows? But it's about who uses their tools the best. So getting on the reg, you gotta know how to use their tools. But I think I got good enough now that I can go on with anybody and make sure I use my tools where it's arguable. You know what I mean? I'm not getting bodied anymore, so that's good. You know.
So we want to talk about the project, but we got 2 songs on cue for you. We got High and By, and then I don't know if you say it as Dia or Daya.
DIA. Yeah, definitely. You can say Dia. I didn't put dots. I wanted people to interpret it, but DIA, it's an acronym for Did It Alone, which is what I'm saying in the hook. So you can say Dia. Dia is a day in Spanish, which I also wanted to make like it's like in the day, so it's dope. And High By is, those are 2 of my favorite ones on the project. So I'm glad.
Since they're your favorite, tell us which one you want us to play first, and then introduce it for us.
Definitely. High By is shorter, so we could play. Play DIA because it's longer. And you was talking about it. This is called DIA. Did It Alone. It's off for SIBB, Self-Inflicted Bubble Boy, my new project. Definitely listen to that, and I think the song speaks for itself, and I have fun making it. So enjoy it.
Wake up in the morning, going on brainstorming. Got shorty on my arm, no drawing. Both on the hustle, no slow until trips to the coroner. Pouring like pouring up, cup half full, no pouring us. Every act of fool, trying to put pose on us. Hold up us, no need coding us. Straight to the top from the block, no put back. Eyes on prize, don't look back. Little monster from the comments, what you use a ganja, the palm, the blue, the Buddha. Got a big life and choosing 2 does. There's more like chess with no maneuvers. Behind your chest is what can move us. Behind your stress is your medulla. You could do great things if you could choose love. It's just an affirmation. Cause niggas got hate in their blood, don't need no validation. Good with the dirt, we came from the mud, so we stumble up, did it alone, no huddle up. Stumble up, did it alone, no huddle up. For worse or better, I'm a verse the meta. With a verse, I felt my purse and filled my soul and felt the urge to splurge the cheddar. Words are better, I'm a cop Rosetta Stones and purchase homes with pennies for my thoughts like getting homeless poems. Nigga, that been the tone. Mama said, Benny Show, some of my blessings gone. Not everyone gets along. So smile in your face, but you feel out of place cause they capping like them a dome. Them semi turn, they gotta burn it in. He ain't have a lot of wishes, no. Only suckers wait for miracles. Don't do drugs when we flip it, though. Little chubby nerd nigga for the word flipping, never learned at the curb and the curb niggas nah. Seen a couple birds in the church with you, but they turn quick to smoke a herb with the church niggas got. Them serpents searching hard. It makes you search your heart. It makes you curse your odds. A person versus God. I'll admit it, yeah. I've been lost, yeah. It has been a year. What's the cost? What's the cost from getting lit in here? Yes, I'm sauce, yeah. How'd I get it here? From the source, yeah. I'll admit it, yeah. I've been lost, yeah. It has been a year. What's the cost? Yeah. Getting lit in here. Yes, I'm sauce, yeah. How'd I get it here? From the source, affirmations. Cause niggas got hate and their blood don't need no validation. Good with the dirt, we came from the mud, so we stumble up, did it alone, no huddle up. Stumble up, did it alone, no huddle up. 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 Did it alone.
Hell yeah.
Very cool.
Ooh.
This is High Bye. It's another song.
Yo, CP, come back.
What's up? What's up? What's the word? What's the word? I mean, I'm just saying. I was just following suit. He said we had 2 tracks, so I was going back to back with it.
I feel you.
But we back. We back with Chris Rivers.
That dog juice.
Oh, that's that dark.
I got coffee.
Which is also dark. Shit, I want some iced coffee right now. I'm bad.
Yeah.
This quarantine, I became a barista in my house.
A barista. Word? Yeah, me too. We be brewing it up. I haven't made a frappuccino though. Not yet. I ain't that real.
Listen, man, I gotta shout out my friend Jackie. When I was in college, she was working at the Starbucks by my school. Wow. So she used to make this like coffee cracks thing, right? And it was espresso, vanilla, and I believe it was honey or cinnamon. One of those 2, right? And she could be wired for overnight. Like a person would not need Adderall or any hard medicated drugs in order to stay awake. You just have 2 of those and you're done.
She wouldn't even need prescription drugs. Yeah, definitely. Definitely need that concoction. Yeah. They say an apple in the morning is better than coffee, you know what I mean? But you got to condition yourself, you know? It's hard.
I don't know about that because I'd rather have coffee than an apple right now.
No, totally. But, just, scientifically and,
I'm making coffee right now.
Oh, man. I'm envious.
Listen, if you were I would make you coffee, but you're in your undisclosed location in your Ford bunker.
Yeah, it's cool. I like being isolated. One of my goals is to get like really, really rich and then just fucking vanish. Like, I just can't wait. Like, I make enough money that I could just ghost mode. Like, I'm like you might see me on Xbox Live. You might catch me but like that's it. Like,
shit, he said Xbox. He didn't say PS4. I don't know how I feel about this.
Listen, man, all this
Xbox all day.
They have the same exact equipment. The Xbox is better as entertainment device, where it's easier its interface is better, it's easier transitioning between stuff. But the PlayStation is a better gaming system because it has better exclusives and it focuses on gaming, but it's clunky as fuck if you want to transition in between apps and stuff like that. And the Switch is portable, so it is what it is. I think one day they're gonna just make a fucking it's gonna be in here. I can't wait for that. I'm trying to get the VR game. You know how in shape I'll be if I had to run across Call of Duty maps, but come on, man. Like they need to make that shit already. I'm waiting for it.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it. But yeah, I just want to go ghost mode. But I gotta make the bread first. I had to pick a fucking career that is completely reliant on the most possible public attention to be successful. Like I hate shit so much. What'd you say?
How you think we feel sometimes?
Yeah, man. Like, yeah, I really like being low key. Like, I think humans are perpetually disappointing by the masses, and I genuinely, most people are uninteresting because they don't realize how interesting they can be. Like, most people are really basic, so I have very few people that I genuinely really enjoy. And as long as I have those people, like, I don't really need much else. Like, you know what I mean? But besides money, so that, so we're here. And I also want to I would like to immortalize myself, because it's not about the money. Like, money comes when you go to your purpose. And I want to help as many people as I can with my story, build as much as a legacy as I can, and then just ghost mode. Like, yeah, bro, like this. But by the time I'm 35, I can do it. But yeah, catch me in how old am I? 26? Yeah, 9 years.
How old are you?
I'm 26. Catch me in 9 years. What? I'm ghost mode.
What? Right. Wait.
Watch. Yeah,
I'm older than you.
It depends. Are you older?
I mean, are you?
Right.
Are you
telling me you're older than me?
Listen, I'm almost 30. I'm already Oh my god.
Oh, the
All right.
yeah, no, yeah, me too. Yo, I had my 25s. I had my quarter life crisis. Like I was not happy. I was I was not happy on my birthday. Yo, I was hot. I was out of town. I was in Arizona working on music. It hit 12 and I stood in my room and I was like what am I doing? And all the niggas that was there with me, they bust in the room like, yeah, happy birthday. I'm like, yeah, man, like yeah, it's cool. Like, yeah, like it was, yo, bro, like it just like when I hit 25, I started realizing like, yo, like you stop feeling impervious, which I don't think that's all right. Like maybe you can, but like I guess I became more aware of my time. Like it's weird. Like time feels like it's moving faster. I know it's relative, but it feels like I have less time to waste. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah. So I feel like when I hit 25, like not when I hit 18, but when I hit 25, I truly stopped being like, you know, a kid. Like it's weird. It's weird. You know what I mean? Obviously, I was still doing adult shit before that, but yeah, like that's when I find like yo, like my life is really what I make of it. There's no in between. Like let me focus up. So yeah, now I'm 26.
See, Mikey, I told you I had that epiphany 2 weeks ago on my birthday. It is worse when you hit 28, 29, 30. Enjoy 26 with all your heart. Grab onto it. Do not let it go.
Yeah, there was somebody who said they didn't know their age. They was like, yeah, I prefer not to because I feel like if you know how old you are, you act your age. And I'm just like, yo, that's true. Like, you know, I that's why I want to get to that point where I make enough money where I think I don't like money at all. I just like freedom, and it just so happens that the more money you have,
need money for freedom.
The money you have, more freedom you have.
Exactly. It just is what it is. That's the catalyst for freedom in this world, and it is what it is. And I do think that you know, freedom allows you the opportunity to discover who you are, to fall back into your you know, your childlike ways where you're reviewing the world from a lens that wasn't, you know, filtered through all this chaos and all this disappointment and all these other things, where you're able to just have this just outward perspective that's just like untainted. And I want that back, and I want to have the freedom to explore that, to wake up and just know like I can literally do anything that I want. And sometimes I like to ask people that, like, yo, like if you could do anything, what would you want to do? And most people are stuck and don't know. And it sucks that we live a life that most people, if granted the opportunity to do anything they ever wanted, don't even know what that is, because they don't give themselves the chance or have the chance, because of how their life works, to actually think about that. If your possibilities was endless, what would you do with it? We don't even have that option enough to explore it, that hypothetically we know the answer. So I kind of just want to break that cycle and just have that opportunity and give that shit to my kids and people around. I not that I have children, but you know, eventually I want them to, you know, not have this conversation. You know, so you know, so yeah, definitely.
Oh man.
Philosophical and deep. Sorry, yeah.
I love this fucking interview. Tell us about Self-Inflicted Bubble Boy.
Yeah, man. It's a project. It's 8 tracks. It's 23 minutes and 55 seconds long. 24 minutes if you want to round up. And it was fun to make. The title Bubble Boy was indicative of you know, everything that's going on right now. The fact that everyone's isolating themselves and in isolation and self-reflecting. And the self-inflicted part is you know, when I'm going through mental stuff myself, or if I'm feeling low, if I feel like I need to grow or take a second, I tend to isolate myself. And you start to realize, or at least I started to realize, that, you know, sometimes when we feel alone or we feel like we're in these bubbles, that, you know, sometimes we did it to ourselves. We're not actually alone. We do have people that care. And if we stepped out into the world, we could experience all of it. So the pain that I felt in the position that I'm in and all these things are self-inflicted. So that's why that long ass weird title came from. And I just wanted it to, you know, be cool and self-reflective. And I have fun recording it. And I stuck with the Bubble Boy and the isolation thing, where I recorded it all, you know, under my bed on a studio I built in my room. I recorded it all myself, did most of the work myself. I'm doing all the videos and everything else. Like I had my boy Left, you know, mixing. I'm learning how to mix now, but I'm not as good as he is. So you know, I had to do it justice. And my boy Cannon is editing the videos, but I'm shooting them on my iPhone, mostly in the crib. And yeah, like, you know, so it was fun. It's definitely it's each project I make is getting close. Like I give it, like, you know, I know rappers are supposed to be like, this is the hottest shit out right now. Like my personal inside, I give it like a 6 out of 10, which is good, because I usually give my joints like a 2 or 3. Like I'm getting closer to the things I hear in my head, like bringing it to life. Like the music I hear in my head sounds nothing like the music I'm able to make. It's just I've been accumulating more of a skill set, so I'm able to do it. It's like if you saw a perfect picture in your head and you try to draw it right now, it's probably going to be stick figures. That's how I feel about my music. Like I'm learning the tools and develop it so I could like bring it from my head to the thing. So it's definitely, you know, a project I'm proud of. I'm happy about the growth. It's the most vibey one. I focused on the feel. You can listen to it and you don't have to like sit down and intensely listen to every word and enjoy it, which I'm proud of. And if you did listen to the words, you actually realize a lot is being said and you could enjoy it even more that way. So, you know, it was a fun project, man. It was fun.
I mean, it does look like you had a lot of fun on it, because when I met you is when you just went on your media tour for DeLorean.
Yeah, that was 2 projects ago. Yeah.
So for me, I saw the growth in you as an artist, but I also saw, you know, and you mentioned it briefly on Ray's show, how you went from lyricism, the lyricism into the beat making.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel though? You know, now that you mastered your craft, you're going into different lanes. How does that feel?
It feels less boring. Like, you know, I don't know if I'm fickle by nature or I'm just, you know, I just need constant stimulation. But like, yeah, like rapping, even the way that I rap is like, I hate writing those, you know, systematically, mathematically, form magically, storm analogies, the bongomat, like those, that shit is just like, what the fuck are you talking about, bro? Like, how is that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it just got to the point where I'm like, I'm bored with that. Like, I get impressed seeing things that I'm like, wow, I wouldn't have thought of that, or I can't do that. So I try to do that. Like, I'm always like, I learn something and I apply it, but then I go to the next step. And right now, I think the next step is like learning how to, for me personally, I think what would make my artistry better is being more relatable, learning how to be even more relatable and tell my story in a relatable way through my music. And actually me learning more on the production side where I can actually tailor make the beats and do those things and really create something from scratch from my mind and put it out there. So that's what I appreciate about this project is its digestibility. It's way easier to digest than my previous projects. And it's not saying that I dumbed it down at all. It's just more so you know, it's more relatable, it's easier to listen to. You don't have to just sit there and intensely listen. Like, it's a vibe, like, which is so much more important than now than when I realized before, when I was just trying to prove I could rap. Like, people care about that, but not as many, but more people don't. Like, people want to feel something when you listen to music, and that's a superpower. Like, you want to be able to control people's emotions and give them a vibe and give them an understanding. And if you're yelling at them at high lyrical pace, you're gonna touch less people, but you still touch a lot of people, and there's still times for that type of music, but there's a time and a place for it. And right now I'm still, you know, growing, so I'm able to, you know, just do more and touch more people platonically, you know. So yeah, it's been cool. Mm-hmm.
Oh man, guys, I feel like I've been hogging the entire thing right now. You guys want to talk?
Nah, it's all good. I'm over here focusing because I'm really about to flip this whole music intermission. I'm about to do something I haven't done for other artists. But I wanted to piggyback off of something that Rocky Barbona asked you earlier. And
I love the name.
hey, listen, you had to be there for the birthday special. That's where the name was born.
That's
at the birthday special that we did for her.
Yeah, it came
But,
from. We did a birthday party on the show, and everyone came. So Mikey claimed he had a connection problem or something with his grandma, something like that.
Listen.
So
we had it set up to where she didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yo, but it was funny because him and my other client for PR, Live Johnson, shout out to him. He's on the check-in. He also said your record was a vibe, by the way.
Oh, love. Live Johnson.
Yeah, we make fun of that name too. Don't worry, there's a lot of pause moments for that. But they both come in. One is wearing a teddy bear mask and one is wearing a ski mask. And the cameras go at the same time. They claim it was not a coincidence. They were both wearing masks.
It dead ass. We did not plan that at all. Like that shit was. It scared me that he actually had the mask on because I knew who he was, but I didn't know who he was at the same time. I was like, yo, who the hell has that freaking bear mask on?
There is a God.
Right.
That's incredible.
So So yeah, I wanted to know, like, have you ever like taken yourself out of like artist mode and became like fan mode for like your own music to watch how your growth was from when you first did that video at 8 years old to Chris Rivers of today? Like, have you ever like took in took it
I
all in as a fan?
I feel like being able to do that is what is one of the things that is stopping me from evolving to my next level. Because there's been times where I've tried to do that, where I like go back and I listen to my whole catalog and I watch all the videos and I try to view myself from an outside perspective, from a fan's perspective. Because something that I realize, and my fans tell me all the time, like the way that I see myself or the way that I speak about myself is so critically and fundamentally different than how everyone else speaks of me. I'm the most critical of myself and probably the most focused on all the flaws and different things like that. But just because I'm the most focused on my growth, but I have to create my growth. Yeah, y'all get to experience it. Pause. And but yeah, like so, I'm just gonna keep hitting with it.
Nah, yo, I'll put it like this.
We're here now.
We understand where you coming from. It's always gonna be me that's gonna say pause.
Yeah.
But
Now
I
I'm just
understand.
yeah, I'm just saying it's be funny, but yeah, like
I got you.
it's one of those things where I would love to be able to do that because I think if I was able to do that, then I would know. I think that artists, the greatest ones, are aware of who they are and their influence in the world. Certain things are way more powerful when a certain person says it. Like a certain line from a certain artist wouldn't hit as much if it came from another person or another artist, and that is because that artist is relevant in their sphere of influence and knowledgeable enough of who they are to the outside world to know that this move right now, this strategic move or this outfit or this song or this verse or this line or this video is relevant to the world and to myself right now, and it's powerful that I'm saying it. And I think that I will have more of an awareness of that when I'm able to sit back and view myself as a fan and appreciate myself from the outside perspective to see like, yo, what would it be dope if I did? You know what I'm saying? What would be dope if Chris Rivers did this? You know, because from my perspective, from the inside, I don't see it that I'm seeing it in a very linear way or filtered way. But if I was able to see it from the outside, I would do the things that fans would want, or I would do the things that would be super dope because it's connected to the rest of my career, not moment to moment, not day by day. My eyes, but it's connected to the story that's being written and the story that's being told. But since I'm in the book, I don't get to read the book, and I don't know.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so if I'm able to experience it from the outside, I think I would have a better understanding of how to move forward, and I'm getting there. You know what I mean? Like this one, I was able to appreciate more, and I'm starting to put less pressure and let on myself, and be more, all that stuff. So it's getting there, but it's taking a while. It's taking a while. Just because
I feel you.
I think too much. Yeah.
If someone was like, let's just say someone was like writing about Chris Rivers, right? What would you consider to be like Chris Rivers' highest or most influential trait?
Trait?
As a person, yeah, trait, like as a person, like character, as a person, and as Chris Rivers, the artist.
Something I've been told a lot, and it's also something I take pride in. It's the energy that I give. You know what I mean? Like the energy, the my ability to articulate, but also using my words mixed with my tone, and whether it be humor, like it's all intentional. When I throw a joke in, or when I talk with my hands, and I do things with my eyebrows and certain things with my tone, just to make it more engaging, because I talk a lot. And I'm trying to deliver a message, and a lot of times people don't care about that message. They don't want to hear that message, or they don't want to hear that story. So you have to keep people captivated, and they can't be too bored. So it's one of those things where I realized that, like, be yourself, because I want to make people feel good, and I want to make people grow, and I want to make people love themselves. And the best way to do that is to share love. It's to share that good energy, to represent what you want them to have. So I think, my best quality would be that. I think people really love like the vibe that I give, the energy, and just the overall, just like the aura that I present, and just that willingness to keep going, and the transparency. Like I'm super transparent. Like I'll say when I'm struggling, I'll say how I feel. I'm not trying to be the coolest nigga in the world. Like I'm just trying, I'm not trying. I'm just being myself, and I like to break down those barriers where a rapper is supposed to be like this, or a person is supposed to be like this, or whatever it is. Like I'm just gonna say how I feel, and I hope that people can relate, and the people who fearful of saying how they really feel. Maybe they can relate to it and they realize they're not alone and it helps. You know what I mean? So, I think that's important. I think people feel that.
Nah, that's definitely what's up. So speaking of energy and flows of words, I've been following you for a little bit, and I see you had some pretty dope freestyles and ciphers out there.
Huh?
So, how was it when you did your very first freestyle?
Oh,
And
mhm.
and just to piggyback on that, once you like the growth again, because for me it's all about growth. Whether it's an artist, a DJ, producer, whatever, I'm always about like how you see yourself now versus when you started,
Yeah.
and how can you improve from now versus when you started, even from now to the future type. So,
Facts.
like, how was it doing your very first freestyle, whether it was live or
Yeah.
in the
No,
cave?
it's crazy. Like there was different time. Like when I was doing the 3 Down thing, like the song y'all played in the beginning of Baby Boo. Like I've had some of the biggest shows that I did back then, but I wasn't aware of the impact, like what I was doing. Like I didn't realize how great it was or big it was when I was a child. When I started rapping again, like my first show ever back, like I choked like twice on stage. Like I was so nervous. Like I didn't understand why I was so nervous. And then even the first, I didn't choke on the radio. But like I could tell, like I was like I was so nervous and not comfortable, and because I was just thinking a lot. Like I realized the comfort level now is way higher. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm not nervous to do these things. It's very like normal, as easy as I'm talking to you. It's rapping on a radio station, again on stage and rapping to people. And yeah, man, like it was definitely a way. Like I thought that every single I want to stress. I do always like to stress the importance of moments. Like there's little moments, medium moments, and big moments. But little moments, a bunch of them make up the medium moments, and a bunch of those make up the big moments. And sometimes it's big moments. I was viewing every single thing as a big moment. Like everything that I did was make or break. And like, yo, if I go on this stage and it's not the best thing I ever did, then no one's gonna let. You know what I mean? Like I just put so much pressure. So it's definitely a lot more comfort now. Like it's fun. Like looking back, like. But it was way more. I liked the feeling of being like, oh, this is gonna be crazy. Like now, I feel like
Right.
I'm too mellow. Like I'm too used to it. Like I've done 1,000 shows. I've done that, like you know what I mean. Like, I'm just like, oh, okay, just another one. Like just turn it on. Let's go up there. It's still fun. You know what I mean. But it's not new. I want that newness. You know what I mean. But back then it was new.
Okay,
Yeah. It was
I
fun.
respect that. What was your most favorite collaboration?
Oh, favorite collab. That's difficult. Favorite collab. I'm appreciative of a lot of collabs. My problem with
Right.
my problem with a lot of the collabs that I've had is that like I don't like my verses. Like I feel like if I'm able to get on collabs now, like I just started liking the music I make. So like I'll get to like I'm so grateful Styles P hopped on records with me, but I'm like damn, like I would have killed that way better now, or like Vinny Paz, or even Wu Tang being on the Wu Tang project, or even some of my buddies like Osmond and Whispers and Denzel and Kent, like so many dope people. So it's hard to pick. I don't think I've had I haven't had collabs with people that I was able to really make something huge yet, or like someone that I truly like. I've had collabs with people that I respect and admire, but people that I'm huge fans of, like you know what I mean. Like if I'm able to get a collab with Lupe or something, or M, or if I was able to get on a track with Mac or Andre 3000 or Black, like someone where I'm like, yo, like I've been thinking about this since I was a kid, like. Yeah, like I think my best collab is yet to come. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Okay, I go respect that. I go respect that.
Mhm.
Chris, what is the shortest time you recorded a project?
Probably this one. This is definitely Like I literally like this shit. I recorded the whole thing in a day. Like
In a
like,
what?
in a day. Like actually
One day?
actually recording it. Like it took me like it didn't take too long to write either. But I wrote it over a span of like maybe a month. But I was writing other stuff too. Like this is 8 songs out of a bunch of shit that I did. So like cumulatively, like I probably spent like maybe definitely less than a day. It's like let's say a week to make all the records, and I recorded them all in one day. I sent it out, and my boy sent back the mixes the next day. And my girl made the cover. Like she took a picture of me. She does designs, and she did like just boom project. So
Yeah, shout out to wifey, because you know what they say, like behind every good man is a solid and dope woman.
No, that's a fact. No, she's super legit. I can't stress the importance of healthy relationships, and I can't stress the importance
Right.
of waiting till you're ready to be in a healthy relationship until you find the right person to be into one, because a toxic relationship could destroy your life, like, you know what I mean, because you will let it, because it's toxic and it can hold you back. And granted, it's transformative if you use it as an experience to learn and to grow, but it's very powerful when you have the right person beside you, and you guys are on a mutual same page, and y'all life together is more indicative of growth and reaching, goals and support and unconditional, truly reciprocated love. Like, it's fire, man. Like, to have a healthy relationship, and yeah, man, she's also creative, so it's dope. I'm definitely appreciative of it, and yeah, first healthy relationship, like genuinely healthy, nice. I'm like, oh, this is what it feels like to be loved. Nice, like this makes sense. This is what they make movies about. Nice, yeah. So it's cool.
So see, the petty part of me is about to say, you heard this come from a real man, guys. So how about you listen to him and follow the same guidelines? Just saying.
Oh yeah, but don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not, like, again, I can't stress enough. Like, so I've always been a good dude, but I had to learn a lot of stuff. Like, but I never, like, almost every person I've been with either cheated or lied or did dirt, or it was just toxic or different things. So, like, men are dogs, but female, like, I think humans in general are just bad, especially since we barely know ourselves, and we're discovering stuff, and we're figuring things out, and we're trying to enter these long-term committed relationships that we're simply not ready for. Like, you know what I mean? And it happens both with, like, step into it when you are ready. Don't try. And like me, like, I would sooner suggest an open relationship than to cheat on someone. Like, I don't think, like, it's that, but that's just me. Like, I'm down to have those conversations. I'm down to do those things, which I've done in the past, because it's like, I'm not gonna betray you. Like, and that's the thing, because people think, like, you have to be an asshole, or you have to be. And even as a good guy, I've been provoked to the point of, like, yo, I gotta be an ass, because you treat someone so good and they stomp on it. And it's like, yo, and that same thing happens to females. So you're like, you end up changing, but I'm not gonna let someone change me just because they, wronged me. But you have to learn, like, yo, let me have these conversations. Let me learn my worth and know what I'm willing to put up with and be strong. And you get there. But I would say take your time, learn yourself. Don't overthink. Don't, shit ain't that crazy. And the right one will come. And they're coming as fast as they can. They're getting here as fast as they can. There's no rush. It's gonna happen. Just, focus on you, and you'll be good. You'll be good. But yeah, stop doing people dirty though. It's not cool. It's not cool, man. Just, maybe, ask, like, hey, how can we, fuck other people? See what happens. Fuck it, see what happens.
Hey, you never know.
See what happens, and be ready for her to be like, "Can I fuck up?" Just.
Right, because it's gonna be rebuttal.
We're always equal. We're always equal. Yeah, but keep going. Yeah.
I mean, man, shit happens in that case. But before, I love Scorp to death, but he might kill me because we took you past 40 minutes.
Yes, I've been being nice. I have no. I don't know how to be rude.
Okay, so so we're gonna get into High and By.
Okay.
So tell us about it.
High By. This is another one of those records. This one is definitely chill, low-fi vibes. I wrote this one. I remember it was like at 2 a.m. Speaking to my lady, like, she pressed me that day. Like, she was telling me, like, yo, like, you're not, she's like, I know you're being more negative lately. Like, I need, get back to yourself. Focus on who you are, start being positive, start being, more, just start living in your best self. You know what I mean? Who you're becoming right now. You're falling and you're not building. And and then she knocked out, and I was like, all right, cool. Like, it's like 2 a.m. Let me figure. I was playing the beat. I felt something. I started writing to it, and it was something that I was learning about myself this was one of the records, a rare record where I actually wrote as an outlet, not because I had to write something, not because of a deadline, but I wrote because I felt something and I put it on paper. So I hope you enjoy it. And it's called High By, and it's chill as fuck.
Yeah. Also, drop your social media, because we don't want to keep you any longer than we already have. Thank you so much.
I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, bro.
Yo, you guys rock, man. Instagram is Dragons and Rivers, spelled just like that. Twitter is only Chris Rivers. I'm never really on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. I'll start tweeting more. And yeah, man, SIBB, Self-Inflicted Bow Boys, out everywhere. Click the link in my bio on the aforementioned Instagram. And yeah, man, let's get it. I love all y'all. Stay cool.
Thank you. So CP, take us into that music break.
Yo, you know the vibes. It's your Royal Highness, CP the DJ. Yo, shout out Chris Rivers for chopping it up with us. We're going to get into that.
Thank you, boo.
And then we're going to follow it up. Yo, like I said, before you leave, Chris, like I said, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to dedicate part of this music break to the legendary Chris Rivers and play some of those fire throwbacks that we know that was in the archives, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We'll get into the drive-by real quick. Let's go. CP the DJ, welcome to the Raw Zone.
Yeah.
If I could run away, I won't lie. I probably feel the same, cause I really wanna fly. If I could find a way, I wouldn't try to balance out the lows with a little bit of high. So can you say hi before you say bye? One day we'll die, so come on by. Everything that I do is for the love, that's the reason I move. I've been defeated, that's true. I try to run, but my feet is like glue, and the floor is like lava. Feel the devil at my heels like a nigga wear Prada. Always come with the theatrics, but you don't want the drama. From a place we ain't concerned about grammar, but we look for the commas. And I swear on my mama that you can catch these hands if you swear on my mama. She told me only say bitch if I'm referring to karma. Messed up a couple times, but I'm still finding Nirvana. When it comes to matters of the heart, I'm playing my part, but it's been dark, came full circle just to end where I start. It's all love, it's all peace. Couldn't lose my way if I never lost me. It's all trust, it's all cheap. Chasing all my dreams is the reason I'm asleep. But if I could run away, I won't lie. I probably feel the same, cause I really want to fly. I grew up, but fucking screw up, but I'm not a fool. They couldn't rule us, my medulla, part of the puller, product of scooters, pocket the Buddha, fun of the shooters, comedy cougars, got like a coma, tutor the tutors. I know that sooner than later I'ma be making noise like cruisers, cicadas, cruised by the haters. And remember that the truth is what made us, not the debaters, as we fade away to nothing. I ain't afraid of nothing, I'm not afraid of nothing. If I'm afraid of something, it's that I'm afraid of something. But if I could run away, I won't lie. I probably feel the same, cause I really wanna fly. If I could find a way, I wouldn't try to balance out the lows with a little bit of high. So can't you say it? Sometimes I feel like there's no.
Let's go. We call this one old thing back. Like I said, we playing Chris Rivers. Let's get it. Hey.
I don't know where did we go wrong. I say I believe it, but my feelings are too strong. And maybe you go. You want that old thing, that thing flow. You want that old thing, that body that drives that till soul. You want that old thing, I met this girl when I was 6 years old. The thing I loved most, she had daylight soul and spirit. Know the difference between hoes and women flow. So different hat, babe, once like Hogan. Near she kept on passing me by. That girl is poison. Became a thorn on my side. I guess it's roses. What you think your shit smell like? I ain't no outcast, but I couldn't outlast. So this shit went south fast. But I seen you out back, no steakhouse. House had your cakes out. It's no biggie. You was juicy. Used to use your words. Had to sit down with you. But need to have a moment. Now you feeling more like take out. Can't make up, just make out. So not a player though. Never learn to take it slow. First you did some twister. Then you learn to take a phone. A couple dozen harmony. I never learned to stay alone. Got T, I got Elsie. I really want to take you home. You want that whole thing. You want that whole thing. You want that whole thing. you like my favorite song. I just hope you play along. When the train fall off the tracks, you pick it up, you pick it up, you pick it up and bounce back. Told me all about that. You never was the same. You told me how to cook crack. They gave me 10 commandments how to push that. You kept the book bag with knowledge. Never was a hood rat. You taught ebonics now. When getting looked at, you never keep it honest. Getting Lord of Hell for that thing, I admitted I was honored, but girl, it hurts to see you like this. It hurts to even write this. Your worth was not a side chick. Your birth was in the projects. You gave so many projects. You always had a set list to uplift, and now you set trip. You jumped ship and landed on a yacht. Forgot all that you got. Now you rather be a dot than a Queen Latifah. I was gonna clean my room, but then I seen the reefer. Seen the leader. I need my leader. Untouchable, in love with you, so we can watch the Huxtables, eat Lunchables, and grab some Kid Capri Suns and chug with you and touch and touching you like hugging you. These other dudes were running through and fucking you. Comfortable with nothing new. You seen switching, you lean sipping, you seen different, you queen killing, you king stealing, and clean hitting these licks, but never seen spitting. Ain't about all the skills, just about what is real. It's like you made a 180, but double that was the deal. Remember, I was young and had a low John, and still you made me smash sugar, how'd you get so fly? No baby bash, never had protection, I just pulled out. Put together objections with a slick bricks get ruled out. Replaced with no place for what we used to be. Hope you take the screw with me and realize that you screw with me. MOP the brewery, the spilled milk eluded me. You still feel like the coolest breeze, I hope you find a use for me.
Chris Rivers, let's go.
Sometimes I feel like there's no use in trying. Why can't I face the fact we've lost, but we'll never get back? I don't know where did we go wrong.
Let's keep it going. We're on my way. Once again, Chris Rivers, thank you for coming with us.
I'ma be on my way. If anything works to say this story, I'ma keep on my way. Make it all right when they say my story. I'ma be on my way. If anything works to say this story, I'ma keep on my way. Make it all right when they say my story.
Yeah, I was raised on a happy father, waiting for Magna Carta. Learned if you get retired, can't accord it, they ask for dollars. Hopping out of a Honda on Impala, cause they called you a puss if you didn't holler. I was on the iced tea for $1 with the bacon, egg, and cheese. Matter of fact, make that tea and on the palm and half of that. Like the white girl with the fattest ass, half the glass. Gave her anaconda with some razzmatazz, half the laugh. My aim was Lord Baby. Catch me on the Gears of War. Nicest on the team, niggas made me clutch. Straight A student to my first love, made me cut. Knew the pussy wasn't mine, but said it was to make me nut. I hated us, acted like I couldn't get played enough. Made it cut after heartbreaks and the shady stuff. Made me tough, bumping Slim Shady and some easy. I remember singing all falls down before he changed it up.
I'ma be on my way. If anything works to say this story, I'ma keep on my way. Make it all right when they say my story. I'ma keep on my way. If anything works to say this story, I'ma keep on my way. Make it all right when they say my story.
I just want to apologize. Almost switch the content and hope to monetize. I don't feel too much hurt, that's worth to my mama's eyes. The paper meals and goodwill, how we economize. I just want to apologize. I'm sorry to my exes for making a data artist that's honestly traumatized. I always do my best and we know that it's not a lie. But still, we always beefing and shit with a kind of pride. I just want to apologize. I know a nigga went truck with a dash of charismatic. Yeah, I'm never keeping up. Call that shit my bad is bad. Their arms like a giving up. Lots of drug and I'm an addict. Pop it out, mama had it. Oh, no. I always pray to God, but I don't always believe. And I think I got it. So I need to be alone, but I didn't want to leave. So
I'ma be on my way. If anything works to say this story, I'ma keep on my way. Make it all right when they say my story. I'ma keep on my way. If anything worse than saying sorry, I'ma keep on my head. Make it all work when they say my stuff. Freedom of jail, clips inserted. A baby's being born, same time a man is murdered. The beginning and end. As far as rap goes, it's only natural. I explain my plateau and also what defines my name. Fuck, long live the legends. Hope you're never their succession. Pops kidnapped Jesus, traded for God's riches. Now what you about to hear is a tale of glory and sin. Nobody my mentor, now let the story begin. I've always been writing rhymes and find expression defined. Since about the age of 9, I've been poetically inclined. I never wanted to shine, but my skills I still refine. Walking that fine line of intervention divine. Cause I sound like my father, and this I always acknowledge. And it always came natural, none of this copy and garbage. I always pay homage to the point I want to vomit. But they say just shooting star, and I'm simply a crashing comet. Well, damn, I put my heart and soul to the shit and lost control, and I still kept pushing forward and trying to be my own. This ozone so cold and this task harder than stone. They calling me your son, but if flown, I just want my toes. Cause whoa, you died way too early for me to make you proud. I married the age of 6, my potential came to shrouds. Wanted me to be a better man, so just hate me now. I can't even amount to you, and that shit is so blatant. Wow, I let my pops down. Mastering my flow, I guess I need time to grow. I let my pops down. In heaven you're looking down and probably with a smell. Fucking long live your fathers, hope they never be a martyr. Pops kidnapped Jesus, raised me to be a monster. Now what you about to hear is a tale of glory and sin. That's my only mentor, let the story begin. Your darkest side still had to compromise and taught to survive. More specifically instilled in me the thoughts to provide for my family in case the tragedy would arise. So when I'm gone, you'll be the man, and then the next year you die. So rise my size, buckled from the weight of the world. Others on my shoulders taking care of your girls. I'm only 6, the fuck am I supposed to do this shit? That's what I said, then I dropped the whole world and quit. You little prick, looking back I should've chased that cheddar. Cause we grew up in the shelter, going help to shelter. Chasing pussy, meanwhile, and help life was better. I was trying to be a kid, that's no excuse, so I get a better. If I try to make some change in life and in pocket range, for all the same, already gained the pain life contains. I'm fucking lame, too late, my efforts are in vain. You raised me to be a man, and I took that shit like a game. I let my pops down. Told me to do good, and we're still trapped in the hood. I let my pops down. Raised me to be a man, and I will never understand. Fucking long live your idols, hope they never your role models. Destined a life of failure, sadness and broken bottles. Once you just heard the tale of glory and sin, still looking for the glory, but I found it within.
You are now tuned into Welcome to the Raw Zone, sponsored by Talent Wave, where many of your favorite celebrities have hidden talent. Visit the site to find out more. Email talentwave.info@gmail.com to find out how you can become part of the team.
Like I said, it's your boy, your highness, CP the DJ. You already know the vibes. www.welcometotherawzone.com. DTF Radio in the building. We got the one and only essential worker, Mr. Rocky Balbona in the building. And of course, Mr. in the building.
Yo, we got the overnight essential workers.
Yo, what up? Yeah.
We didn't overnight. If you think about it, right, we're overnight essential workers. We work in the night and we provide entertainment.
That's some bullshit because you're not here till 6 o'clock. Shut up.
You want me to stay up with you and put Raw Zone until 6? You act like I won't do that.
Absolutely not. I don't know if I can handle that.
Yo, so that was a dope interview.
That's a fact.
You know, we did the thing. Chris Rivers had me dying.
Listen, he reminds me of my boy Jamal Jones. Shout out Jamal Jones. That's my homie.
Yo, I was about to tell you.
He gave me vibe. He gave me Jamal Jones vibes from beginning to end. Shout out to my boy Rick. Yo, I love you, bro. Happy Father's Day and all that. I ain't get to talk to you. Happy Father's Day and all that. But nah, Chris Rivers is dope dude, man. Just blessed to have him on the check-in with us, man. That was dope.
Like, shout out to his manager, Scorp. I'm so sorry for keeping. I honestly lost the track of time because my phone died. So that happened, it all went downhill from there. But we had a great interview. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you for allowing your time to us. But there's been a lot of fuckery over the last few weeks, bro.
Shit, a whole lot of fuckery. Let's get into it.
First of all, Matt Riddle coming out looking like a pedophilic Tarzan.
Who's that? Who came out? Who came out like that?
He came out. He made his debut. Matt Riddle made his debut on SmackDown looking like a pedophilic Tarzan.
I mean, but he's always looked like that though.
Yeah, but now you know SmackDown is more my thing. Like that's my favorite out of the three branches.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
NXT has their moments where they could grab my attention, but I still prefer
NXT is where real wrestling goes on. Like, if you want to watch a real wrestling match, you watch NXT.
I get
If
that.
you want to watch the like the storylines and shit like that, then you watch Raw and SmackDown. I think you're right though. I think SmackDown have the better roster right now. I think it does have the better roster. But I don't know. I haven't watched SmackDown. I'll be honest with you. It's been a good while since I watched SmackDown. Good while. It's been a good while since I watched Raw, but it's been a longer time since I watched SmackDown.
Oh yeah, no, it's been a long time since I watched Raw.
Yeah.
So, but in wrestling news, apparently half of the wrestling community are sex offenders.
Sure. I'm sure there's going to be more than that. There's a whole list of folks out there. Whole list of folks, including Matt Riddle.
So, Jack Gallagher was released recently on the accusations of, they found proof of the accusations of sexual misconduct.
And they got rid of him really quick. Quick and quietly. Quick and quietly. Like, it was just like a message. She's been released.
Like, Matt Riddle got released too, and I guess that's why they didn't put the U.S. title on him when he debuted, because of the accusations.
Riddle didn't get released.
No. Riddle got accused, but that's why they didn't give him, on Friday for the title match. There wasn't a title match. Yeah. I feel like it was because of that.
Yeah, for the Intercontinental Championship.
I heard they're going to keep pushing him because they really found out that a lot of it was bullshit. So they said they're going to keep pushing him. But we got to see.
Yo, but one story that's not bullshit though, and that bothers me because the female reading this right now, AEW, All Elite Wrestling suspends Sammy Guevara following offensive remarks to WWE superstar Sasha Banks.
Right.
If you know who Sammy Guevara is, he is one of the top wrestlers right now on AEW.
Mm-hmm.
He went on a 2016 podcast making statements about Sasha Banks, saying, bro, quoted by essentiallysports.com, bro, Sasha Banks, ... oh my God, when I was at the WWE last week, I wanted to go fucking rape that woman. As a female and a person that has been through rape, I don't think this is funny, honestly. I think it's extremely offensive, and especially now at a time where we have so many misogynists trying to come out of the water to degrade women.
Right.
It is not fair. It's not fair to be a woman in any industry because you're going to go in, you could be nice to someone, but you talking about fucking raping her. Like, what?
Right. It's crazy that type of language is acceptable. Even if you didn't mean it in that way, it's like, yo, bro, like you gotta know the difference. Like that's wild. That's crazy.
Right.
And you gotta remember, like you said, it was 2016. So in 2016, that was acceptable language to be said, and he went all of these years without it coming out. So imagine that's only 4 years ago that was said. And for it to just now come out, it just shows how different of a time we're in, with the things that we
Right.
need to say and the things that we need to do, as far as like just being aware of like certain situations like rape and things like that. And it's like before it would be like you could say, oh, like when we play video games, I raped that dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, yo, you don't, nowadays you can't say that no more. Like, you feel weird saying shit like that. So it's like, yo, you just got to be very mindful these days. And like, we live in a different time now, man. Everything is changing. Everything around us is changing. Like, 2020 has been like a transformative year in general. Like, seriously.
So AEW makes a statement on Sammy Guevara. AEW insists on doing our part to create a world of understanding and respect for humankind. We therefore strongly condemn the extremely offensive and hurtful words of Sammy Guevara. As such, effective immediately, Sammy suspended without pay until further notice. Sammy has to undergo extensive sensitivity training, and upon completion, his future status with the company will be reevaluated. During his suspension, his salary will be donated to the Women's Center of Jacksonville. I like what AEW did, and not only that, so the money that would have went into, I mean, it could have went to another superstar's pocket, in my opinion, but the fact that they're giving it to a women's center so they could promote and promote wellness for these people and for these.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I get what they're saying, but I feel like, and don't get me wrong, sending the money where they're sending it, I'm all for that. I just feel like for what he said 4 years ago, and for where they for how they, as far as like the money going towards, and they specifying it towards a women's charity, I feel like that for them is their way of saving face, because he did it as a part of their brand.
Right.
Like, don't get me wrong.
But there was no AEW 4 years ago. ABC is now.
No, right. I understand that. So my thing is, I feel like, yes, the gesture is good, but to say you're taking his salary per se and putting his salary to that cause, that to me is like, damn, he said this X amount of years ago. We're promoting him on our platform now. Let's not let this back fall on us, even though we wasn't together at this point, at that venture when he said it. But we're gonna put his money towards this cause to save AEW face. Now, if you were saying as a company you're sending money to that cause, I wouldn't have got that type of vibe to think like, okay, y'all trying to save face, but okay, yeah, because you already said you suspended him to further notice, and now you're saying you're taking his particular salary per se and putting it towards to kind of save face in a sense. I mean, like, I feel like there's no wrong. I mean, that's just my opinion. So I'm not saying that's what they're doing, but I just feel like I would get that type of vibe from that in the way that they're wording it.
I get that. I feel like, you remember when Hulk Hogan said the N-word on a podcast or something about it?
Right.
And they completely wiped him out. I think they just wanted to go an alternate route where it didn't go to that extent where they take away your stature, because I guess they still want to protect that part, I guess. Because if they just go and not do something, I feel like it's going to still tank their brand anyways, coming from a PR perspective.
Right, no, I get that from a PR, and that's to my point. My thing is, as a PR perspective, I wouldn't have made it known that I took his shit specifically. I would have just said on behalf of the AEW brand as a whole, like, you already said what you did to him. For something that he said before he was even a part of your brand. But if you're trying to represent the brand itself as a whole, I wouldn't have made it seem like I just took this dude's money and put it somewhere else. Now it's like you're trying to save what he said and your brand at the same time by saying, well, because now he could say, oh, well, I told them to donate my salary to this to show that I didn't really mean. You know what I mean? Like, To me, it's like a iffy type of situation. Like it's called as far as trying to reprimand what you're trying to accomplish and fix what you don't want to damage your brand as far as PR is concerned. Like I personally wouldn't have said I'm taking his salary. I would have said,
Right.
look, in the situation that's going on, whatever, as a PR for AEW, we the corporation decided as a whole to send charitable so to show that AEW is not for whatever he was talking about. Like to show is not promoting what he's talking about. Oh, that type of language or that type of conversation or lingo per se. But like I said, I'm all for them giving the money to the cause. It's just I feel like the delivery should have been a little different, in my opinion.
Okay. I'm reading. Sorry, I got a message. I got a message from Bleacher Report.
Okay.
Like, Keith Lee shares speaking out story. Says anyone can be a victim. So apparently, Keith Lee comes out about a 2016 or 2017 incident where he was in Dallas and a woman had drugged him into a bar. Like he was at a bar after an event and he was drugged by a woman. So like now he's talking with everything that's happening. He's talking about his experience. So it is both sides. You know,
right, and that's right.
It's not
and
just
that's the thing. Like, yeah, I'm sorry.
It's not just women too, and like there's a statement too that Sasha Banks made earlier when I spoke to Sammy. He apologized and we had an open discussion where it's like the comment he made jokingly or not have absolutely no place in our society. I don't condone or tolerate this kind of behavior. Well, one thinks that just a side comment can have a massive impact on someone else's life and can send the wrong message. We have to hold ourselves accountable for our actions and the words we say, and I hope this situation shows him that. I hope from this point on, in order for growth and change within our community to take place, we can all continue to have these conversations. No person, man, woman, or child should ever be subjected to a feeling of fear or any unsafe environment. We all have to do better, not just for ourselves, but for generations to come. And that's
right.
all.
That's a fact. Yeah, like the main thing is like, and I go to my point. It's all in your delivery and what you're saying. Like you gotta like come on, like I'm sure Rocky can attest to this. There's plenty of times where we've been in the workspace, man or female, and seeing an attractive female from coming from our perspective, and then a male from a female's point of view. And I'm sure there's always going to be that chitter chatter. Oh, that person looked like this. That person looked like that. Oh, if I had the chance, whatever. But it's all in what you say. You gotta know, no matter what, whether you joking or not, certain words are just not tolerated, and certain words can be taken out of proportion. Because at the end of the day, you never know who's listening. Like right now, we're talking right now. We could say something that and a listener could take offensive and report us. But here we're just talking regular like we normally do, not thinking of the effect that it could be placed on somebody else hearing it from the outside. Case in point, him making what to him probably was a meaningless comment, like "Yo, she looked so good," But the fact that he said the word rape took it to a whole nother level to where now they have no choice but to solidify and rectify what he did and how they can go about it. Right. And for Keith, he just proved the point that yes, it's not just women. A lot of times people automatically jump to the conclusion that it's the female that's the victim. Meanwhile, it's a lot of these guys that, as far as wrestling, like are actually married people, women and men who are married people, whether the storyline shows it, like Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins, like they're actually married in real life. Daniel Bryan and Brie Bella, like stuff like that. And it's like they still gotta sit there and be like, yo, this person's coming on to me and I gotta deal with this like that. But like for a man, it's harder to come across and explain that because it's like, bruh, she ain't come on to you. It's like, and that's where the stigma comes in at.
Yo, whole facts, bro. So peep this
True.
now, right? We had to toward the end of our show, but
Right.
something was brought to my attention being of Greek descent, and I find this fucking hilarious as hell.
Mhm.
So Greek people apparently really got the bag. Ja Rule a commercial. But by the way, pause. I just forgot the whole thing. Can you please give Sammy Guevara a dub or a bomb for him being a dub?
Yeah, all right. Hold on. Got you.
Finish him. Finish him. What the fuck?
I got you on those. Don't worry, we coming soon.
Coming soon.
Got our done. Got you.
Our dub segment was a little unconventional today because we're short on time, but Ja Rule decided to take a commercial job for Papa Cristo's restaurant in the middle. I don't know where it is. I'm not going to bother looking right now. But I thought, let's play it because honestly, this is the most hilarious shit I've ever seen.
Facts. I saw it today. I was dying.
Here, let me show my camera off. All right.
It make you want to slap your mama. My Cristo's got the best motherfucking gyros. You ever ate your life so good that when it thinks you got to have Peters. My Cristo.
Peters.
Everything. I'ma just give you a rundown of some of my favorites. They got tzatziki. Hold on. Octopi tequila. Whatever. It's good. Abulabano soup. Capita. And they got wine too. I'm telling you, come on down to Papa Cristo. You can't even pronounce the food. It's so damn good. Show them what you're working with, Papa. Show them how you do it.
Hey, Papa, where? Papa Cristo, are you here? Papa Cristo, are you here?
Come on down to Papa Cristo's, 2771 West Boulevard, Pico. Or you can call right now and get it delivered. Papa Cristo, make you want to do the thing. Opa!
First of all, bro, I'm mad it took me like 2 days to see this shit because it was hilarious.
Yeah, I did saw that shit this morning. I ain't even gonna hold you. I was like, I heard about it, but I ain't paying no mind. And I was just scrolling on my regular feeds, and I was like, wait, is this nigga serious? Nah, you gotta be joking, dog. And I was like, no, you're dead serious.
Why? He was serious, and Live calls me up because we had a meeting about the Raw Zone website.
Yo,
Katie, are you mad? I'm like, why? Because of what Ja Rule did. I'm like, yo, what could Ja Rule have possibly done? But
yeah.
I'm like, yo, I'm not mad about the commercial because he was doing to secure the bag, you know. But I can't fault him for saying it wrong because if they don't teach him, and from what it looks like that shit was made on TikTok. So clearly,
Word.
you're not you don't have the resources or someone to tell you how to say it. So it's hilarious as fuck. But I don't knock him. I'm not mad about it. I'm more mad about my big fat Greek wedding, like I was telling Live, because the girl that played the one getting married was Greek. And a lot of the things that was said, like the Windex, you know, shit like that is all bullshit. You know, don't depict someone wrong, but if you clearly don't know what to say, but it is still a good, no matter what, I bet you anything now, because that shit went viral, Papa Cristo is going to be fucking slammed. Come
That's
corn.
a fact. At the same time, for all we know, that could have been part of the whole segue. Like, yo, we're gonna give you these impossible words to pronounce, but we know we're gonna get a bigger reaction because you can't pronounce the words. People are gonna be watching it so much over and over and over that after a while, the hidden message is gonna get stuck in their head, and they're gonna end up going and figuring out where it's at. So It's all publicity, probably. Who knows?
We never know. But
So-
on that note, yo, we did good on time. We did everything, bro. We are the motherfucking man. But it's your girl Ivy. I'm still going with that now. You can
What,
find me.
Ivy?
I'm Ivy. You can find me everywhere at I love you too. I am Ivy.xo. Follow Rawdone everywhere at Rawdone NYC. I'm praying next week we can finally make that Welcome to the Rawdone the Hangover show crossover to finally happen via StreamYard.
Oh man, that should be interesting.
Yo, that's why I want to get a pause jar so badly. But guys, tell them where they can find you and what you got going on.
Hit it, Rocky. Where you at?
Yo, Rack.
Yo, I'm here. Yo, my name is Michael Bostic. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter _Michael Bostic. My name is Rocky Balbona. For now, within the next 2 weeks, I have another name that I will be going by for the month of July. So stay tuned. We're gonna have a meme next week, so we can figure out the viewers can figure out what it's gonna be. Maybe we can have a little contest with it. I don't know. We'll figure all that out between
maybe
now and then.
Michael Bostic shirt. You never know.
Cool. I got an EP out, a love story. It's out on all streaming platforms. My single To Infinity and Beyond coming out on my next project, A Love Story Chapter 2, is out right now on all streaming platforms. So stream that. Tell me what you think.
And you on a mixtape?
Right. I'm on the Team We mixtape right now.
Volume 2.
Volume 2 was at Promo Guys 614 on Instagram. You can go there and you find the download link and download from there.
Yo, TP won't go
As always, leave it to the R&B nigga to take up all the damn time. But nah, it's your boy CB the DJ. You know the vibes. Catch me everywhere. Rock View ENT. Welcome to the Roll Zone every Tuesday night from 10 to 12. Platinum Radio on Saturdays from 5 to 7. Y'all know the vibes. I ain't gonna get into it too much. I got a Fish Friday in Brooklyn, New York, 618 Pine Street. If y'all want it, hit us up. We got you. Hit me in the inbox. I see y'all the info and all that. The menu's banging. But yo, I want to close the show out with banging. What?
Yo, Mikey, what are you writing, bro?
These nuts.
This nigga.
Nah, I'm on the electric ladder right now.
This nigga.
So, what are we doing, TP, to end the fight?
Yo, so the homie Mike Edwards, shout out my guy Mike. Yo, if y'all know me, I know I'm all about exclusives and premieres and stuff. So this my guy sent me a track called About
49?
Us. No, it ain't 49. It's About Us. You know what I'm saying? The track's called About Us. It ain't 49. Come on and sit you worker. But nah, shout out Mike Edwards. Call this one About Us. And we're going to close it out with that. Let's get into it. Let's go.
It ain't a moment on this side. That don't got troopers on this side. Some people lose it and they miss God. But we don't do that on this side. Cause we gon' get right. We gon' keep it moving, let the haters doubt us. All we really need is unity around us. Cause we gon' go improve communities around us. And when it's all good, we gon' tell the kids about us. Tell the kids about us. So with that, welcome back. What it do? Take a breath, just relax for a few. This country full of cracks with no glue. If you couldn't understand, hit the facts, catch a clue, yeah. For the crew, yeah. We gon' bust a move, yeah. Hands up, what we want is them to not shoot, yeah. Ain't trying to bring down all the